detection for the rest of your life, you have to have a certain period of time and certain type of people focused on doing signal detection. For example, you got the product approved in the market. You have 2 years to identify, or 3 years, to identify whether there are any problems in the product when it's used after the marketing authorization holder. So you have a fixed time, 3 years. Anything happened in those years? No. Maybe after that, you fix another period of time to do another signal detection process, stating that this product, after 3 years or after 5 years, it starts a certain type of reaction. So you need to understand that the periodicity of the signal detection has to be determined. You don't do it for the rest of your life or the life of the product. Signal evaluation. You detected the signal, now you have to evaluate it, and that's where you do this causality assessment. I'm not going to go into a lot of details here, but let's start with causality criteria. It has to be temporal relationship, and it's sequential. The patient took the drug, and as a sequence, the adverse event happened. Concomitant medication. You took medications at the same time. It could be not related to the drug, it could be related to an interaction, for example, or could be related to another drug. Did he previously exposed the same drug, and at the time did he develop the same reaction? Pre-existing or concomitant conditions. Does he have a pre-existing condition, assassin, for this to be developed? Medical and pharmacological plausibility. Is there a sense of pharmacological sense or medical sense that this could be caused by the product? The product, the challenge, de-challenge and re-challenge. You gave the patient the drug, developed the effect and the reaction, you removed the product, minus the drug, the effect is gone, and you did the re-challenge again, and the effect came out again. That gives you an indication that it's caused by the drug. So that's the criteria for causality. It's a long story, no time to discuss it, but there are 2 scales for causality assessment. Mainly they are common, the Andrew scale and WHO probability scale. There are others, but I don't know anything about them, and I don't expect to know anything about them because they're not common. These are the common ones. And mainly WHO probability scale is the easy one, that's more reliable. Now, with classification of causality, you have the companies, when they evaluate the causality of the product, they have different categories or classes of the causality. Could be definite, it could be probable, could be possible, could be unlikely or unrelated. When it comes to regulators, it's a different story. When it comes to regulators, it's totally a different story. Everything is related. No matter how remote it is, as long as you say, oh, yes, it could be, then it's a yes to them. The only time it's unrelated when the results show that it is irrelevant. WHO UMC probability scale. أيضا في كذا classification. It could be certain, positive and de-challenge and positive re-challenge, probable, which is positive, de-challenge and then negative de-challenge, possible temporal relationship, it happens straight after taking the medication, or unlikely if it's a disease or drug, provide plausible explanation. The 2 last ones are not used that much. We're going to focus more on this one. Let's do a little exercise because I can see that people are tired already. A 75-year-old female takes nitroglycerin for chest pain and gets dizzy. Falls, breaks her hip, has surgery, recovers, develops pneumonia, and dies 12 days later. Did the nitroglycerin cause dizziness? Did it cause fall? Did it cause hip fracture? Did it cause death? How many says yes to dizziness? It should be everybody. Yeah? How many says yes to fall?
It is related, but it's not like directly related.
I was going to say put some dizziness.
You have doubts, right? You have doubts about this. Did it cause hip fracture? Did it cause death? Is it related?
Yes. Yeah, you can't say.
So where would you put it? Would you put it in the adverse events section? Warnings, precautions, geriatric use? Where would you put it in the leaflet?
I would say precaution. Yeah.
Where would you put it? Anybody else? Come on, be active.
Yeah, precautions.
Precautions?
And geriatric use too.
Side effects? Side effect has to be really related to, directly caused by the drug. I'm not going to give you the answer, by the way. Because there is no answer. I think it should be a precautionary thing.
But even precaution should be more than a different number of cases.
Yes, everything, even warning. Warning has its own criteria. Precaution has its own criteria. Yes, precaution has a certain way of, analyzing and putting information in it. Whether it's a geriatric use, you need to analyze there is a committee that decides based on guidelines and things, information that they have, where to put this exactly. They don't just go ahead and say it's a precaution. A new drug for weight loss, heavily promoted to teenagers. 10,000 women between the ages of 11 and 21 take the drug in the first 3 months of marketing. One case of mitral valve stenosis is reported from Paris. Is it related to the drug? 10,000 took the drug.
We can't be sure.
Uncertain.
Uncertain?
Because just one case out of 10,000.
Could be.
It could be. Okay, let's continue. A famous hip-hop entertainer says on Facebook that she took it and lost 40 pounds, but had a heart attack and is suing the company. Is this related to the drug?
Can't be sure. Can't be sure.
Yes, so she's not gonna win the case because we don't know what she was taking with it. We don't know what her situation is, what her health issues that she's suffering from. We can't just say yes, well, it caused this event. 73 other cases of heart attacks and 14 of mitral valve stenosis are reported in the next 2 weeks. Heart attacks related to drug. 10,000, remember. 73.
We have to put in concept. Say maybe. Yeah.
There is a signal, I would say.
Yes, signal, yeah.
Mitral stenosis related to the drug. 14.
Yeah. Could be.
Could be. The probability has increased
Yeah.
in the way we are, thinking now. Casualty is very tricky. It is very tricky. I want you to open your folders. The first 2 pages are just a long story of the Atlantean empires. You can look at it in your own time. The third page is Naranjo ADR probability scale. If you go to example C at the last page, that is a bit not organized, but example C, using Naranjo and WHO-UNC scales. How many people are there right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So let's go for 4 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 groups. If you use this example C, to answer questions in the Naranjo ADR probability scale on page 3. Now, the information may not be sufficient, but try your best in putting the numbers. So if it's a yes, each answer of these questions has a certain number of points. You circle it. If you choose to, for example, to answer yes to the first question, you have to circle 1. If you have to answer I don't know, then you have to go for 0. And then look at the total. And if you look at the underlined down in the paragraph, check on the total and see whether it's definite, okay, as 9 or greater, probable from 5 to 8, possible from 1 to 4, and 0 is doubtful or unrelated or whatever. So you can here, this is 1 line, and 1 line, 1 line, and 1 line.
I think this way is better.
Let's do it in a more efficient way. If we take 4, you can sit with each other like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, you need to be separated. Yeah. So it's 4, 4, 4, 4, like this.